Lesson 3. Understanding the role of angels in prayer. Prayer is a sacred dialogue between man and God, but the Bible reveals that we are not alone in this process. Angels, although not the object of our worship, play the role of messengers and executors of God's will in response to our prayers. Here is a structured lesson to understand the spiritual dynamic. Angels carry our prayers before God. In the spiritual realm, angels are described as presenting the prayers of the faithful before the throne of God's glory. A person deprived of the celestial beings called angels cannot have prayers that reach heaven. It is not the manner of prayer, the words used, or the style and appearance that make prayers pierce the clouds, surpass the stars, and reach heaven. Prayer holds a mystery. And when you discover this, your approach to prayer automatically changes before God. And another angel came and stood at the altar, having a golden censer. He was given much incense to offer, with the prayers of all the saints, on the golden altar before the throne. Revelation 8:3. To develop effective prayers, one must cultivate an effective relationship with the angels. 1. Understanding the nature of angels. The nature of angels far surpasses the simplistic image of gentle, winged beings. In the Bible, the encounter between humans and angels is an event of formidable intensity, marked by terrifying majesty and dazzling power. Here is an exploration of the sacred nature and imposing stature of these celestial beings. 1. A sacred nature, the emanation of God's holiness. Angels are not cute beings. They are beings of fire. They live in the immediate presence of pure holiness. Their nature is sacred because they reflect, like mirrors, the glory of the one they serve. Their origin, they are called sons of God or holy ones, Job 5:1. Their radiance, the word angel comes from the word for messenger, but their appearance is often described as lightning. His appearance was like lightning, and his clothing is white as snow, Matthew 28:3. If you want these beings to be friends with you and to draw you into a deeper relationship of prayer, begin by living a life of profound holiness. Rid yourselves of all sins, impurities, and the like, for they cannot join you in a perverse life. Have you seen how Satan works with his followers? He asks them to live in sin and to live in it to the fullest extent, so that the demons can fulfill their demands. In lodges, in religious studies, and in witchcraft, the pact is often sealed by an abomination, such as killing, drinking blood, or having sexual relations with one's daughter or son, or with a man or a woman. This act of defilement draws the demons closer, and they then place themselves at their service. In their world, the one who commits the most abominable acts is the one who is best served. The opposite of this in God is achieved through holiness. The more you sanctify yourself and pay the price of holiness, the more you attract as beings called angels. Your first step in understanding angels must be holiness. Angels are so aware of holiness that they constantly proclaim it. It is their primary function in the divine presence. Isaiah 6:3. They called out to one another, "Holy, holy, holy is the Lord Almighty. The whole earth is full of his glory." Revelation 4:8. The four living creatures do not stop saying day and night, "Holy, holy, holy is the Lord God Almighty, who is and is to come." By understanding the nature of the angel's holiness, you will no longer play with sin. 2. A majesty that inspires awe of the sacred fear. Almost every time an angel appears in the Bible, its first words are, "Do not be afraid." Why? Because their physical presence is so imposing that it overwhelms humankind. This is not a fear of threat, but a sacred awe before an ontological superiority. The effect on man. Before the angel, man's physical strength vanishes. Daniel, for example, loses all strength and falls face down to the ground, Daniel 10:8, the respect due to their rank. Although they are our fellow servants, Their dignity is such that even the apostles were sometimes tempted by mistake to bow down before them before being rebuked. Revelation 22:8-9. This is even one way to take prayer seriously because of the respect they inspire. Look at the nature of the being who comes to take your prayer and carry it to heaven. It inspires fear and awe, simply its presence, not even the presence of God. How can you enter into prayer with a habit of contempt, without respect or fear? Others pray like bosses, chewing gum or lollipops. Others pray surrounded by a chaotic mess of silk. Others pray in unacceptable atmospheres and are unaware of the game they've gotten themselves into. If only Christians were aware of what happens during prayer, many would change their ways. Read this with me and study this. Revelation chapter 5 verse 8. When he had taken the scroll, the 4 living creatures and the 24 elders fell down before the Lamb, each holding a harp and golden bowls full of incense, which are the prayers of the saints. 1. The 4 living creatures and the 24 elders fell down before the Lamb. Our prayers did not go directly to the Lamb or Jesus. They passed through the 4 living creatures and the 24 elders in golden bowls. Despite their holiness, these living creatures and elders were not allowed to touch our prayers with their hands, which brings us back to the nature of the sanctity of prayers. Prayers have inestimable value, even though they are carried in golden bowls. Start taking your prayer sessions seriously. Prayer is not child's play. One, Revelation chapter 8, verses 3-4. And another angel came and stood at the altar, holding a golden censer. He was given much incense to offer, with the prayers of all the saints, on the golden altar before the throne. The smoke of the incense, together with the prayers of the saints, ascended before God from the angel's hand. Note this well. The censer is made of gold to offer your prayers. The altar is made of gold where your prayers are placed, and the prayers ascend from God to the angel's hand. Lack of respect for your own prayer life is one of the reasons for unanswered prayers. Prayer is not a marathon. It is simply a set of rules to follow, which many people overlook. Note, when prayer is not accepted in heaven, it is sent back to earth with terrifying judgment. This follows from the prayers of the saints. Revelation chapter 8 verse 5. And the angel took the censer, filled it with fire from the altar, and hurled it to the earth. And there were peals of thunder, peals of lightning, and an earthquake. Wars, earthquakes, and the wrath of nature are also the response of unanswered prayers sent back to earth. This can be illness for some, death for others, accident for others, and unexplained events for still others. 1 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 29. For anyone who eats and drinks without discerning the body of the Lord eats and drinks judgment on themselves. 30. That is why many among you are weak and sick, and a number of you have fallen asleep. If we judged ourselves, we would not be judged. Any work of God done incorrectly brings judgment upon the person. The second point, respect and awe in prayer, is a great key for yourself, the angels, and God. Nurture your prayer environment. A dazzling and irresistible power. The power of angels is not comparable to human strength. It is supernatural. A single angel possesses the authority to change the course of history or command the elements. Military power. The Bible mentions that a single angel struck down 185,000 men in the Assyrian camp in one night. 2 Kings 19 verse 35. Dominion over matter. They roll away massive stones, break iron chains, open armored prison doors, and shut the mouths of lions. Bless the Lord, you his angels, you mighty ones who do his bidding. Psalm 103 verse 20. Knowing the power and ability of angels will lead you to live free from doubt, whether in a struggle or in any life situation or trial. Ignorance of angels and their abilities is a factor that plunges many Christians into ignorance and leads them to doubt the solutions God can provide for them. Even Satan knew that Jesus had this knowledge of angels who act upon and are drawn to well-ordered and structured prayers. In his temptation, he touched on this point to lead him astray. Luke chapter 4, verses 9 to 11. The devil took him back to Jerusalem and had him stand on the highest point of the temple. "If you are the Son of God," he said, "throw yourself down from here, for it is written, He will command His angels concerning you to guard you carefully. They will lift you up in their hands, so that you will not strike your foot against a stone." Satan, knowing that Jesus had discovered the secret of the angels in prayer, wanted to ruin everything so that Jesus would not benefit from this grace. You can understand why the Lord's prayers always worked. The power of the angels was at work. This power empowers those who have a right to do things beyond what is normally possible. Matthew chapter 4, verse 11. Then the devil left him, and angels came and ministered to Jesus. These powerful angels reassure us in the face of adversity and empower us to act. When you have this secret, faith becomes alive and active within you. Remember this lesson from our school of prayer. I, Pastor Prince, want you to have access to secrets that great men of God use in prayer. Secrets that allowed them to ascend to the throne of divine grace. In the next lesson, we will learn how these angels have been placed at the service of the saints from the Old Testament to the New Testament, and how we can learn from their experiences and use them for our own benefit. Subscribe so you don't miss the next lesson.